right, man. Let's talk about Anthony Yard um, taking on David Benavidez. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button to hit all notification, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Should be a good fight. It's the main event. Some people think it should be Norman and Haney. Benavidez is their ace. You know what I'm saying? It's the guy they got from PBC. The guy that they got to lead the United States and didn't want to come to Vegas, leave Vegas to come to Saudi Arabia. So he's probably making just as much as anybody on the card. There's rumors that them and Haney wants to do a double feature next year in February. Presumably they both win. So he's 6'2", 74.5-inch reach. Obviously his last, three fights have been at the two fights have been the light heavyweight limit. Goldsvik, who was coming off of a retirement, ended retirement. I believe he fought two fights before he fought Benavidez at the end of retirement. Better BF retired him. So yeah, he had about three fights before he came back. 6-rounder, 6-rounder, 8-rounder. And then he came back versus David Benavidez. He's come back as far as April versus Anthony Holloway. He was 9-7-3, so he's going to continue to fight even past this David Benavidez fight. He fought Dave Morrell, who struggled in his fight before fighting David Benavidez. A lot of people thought he lost to Hot Rod, and a lot of people thought he lost to this Canada guy in Louis Armstrong Arena in Queens. Honestly, I don't really think much of his 75-pound run so far. He fought a guy that recently unretired, and he fought Dave Morrell, who ain't did shit at 68 and did nothing but get exposed at 175. And Anthony Yard, I think the real highlight of his career was losing to Lyndon Arthur, which a lot of people said he shouldn't have lost to Lyndon Arthur in the 12-round split decision. A couple fights later, he knocked him out in 4 rounds, and then he just recently went 12 with him again, and beat him. So shout out to him getting trilogy. I think the Kovalev fight was a fight that he should have won. He had an opportunity to stop Kovalev, and he didn't go to the body. He went to Russia, didn't go to Kovalev's body, and ultimately got stopped. And that was Kovalev ended up fighting Canelo right after that. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, he had a really good fight with Arthur Beterbiev. It was close, it was competitive, and got stopped in 12. He went 12 his last fight, 10 the fight before then, 12 in his loss to Lyndon Arthur, 11 versus Kovalev. So he ain't had a lot of deep runs as far as his career, but don't like he had a lot of fights. So, he had, 30 fights, at 34 years old. He was pro since 2015. So in 10 years, he got 30 fights. So that's 3 fights a year, probably he should be more closer to 40 or 50 fights at this point, but I believe he was late to the game. And he's fought some names. I would say his resume, as far as, credible opponents, Arthur Beterbiev, Kovalev, they are the ones that shine on this resume. Might seem like Benavidez has fought the more names when you start talking about Dave Morrell, Goldsvik. Morrell ain't did shit. Demetrius Andrade ain't never did shit for real, written shit for real. Plant Lemieux, he got the names, but I think, Beterbiev, I think David Benavidez, Anthony Yard has fought the bigger guy, the better named guys, but ultimately, I think this would be a good fight while it lasts. I think when you look at this fight, honestly, I believe that Anthony Yard is I think he's the more athletic fighter. I think he's the stronger fighter. I know there's questions about his gas tank. I know David Benavidez has got fast hands, but he don't seem to be punching like he once was at the lower weight classes. He's been a cumulative puncher. I don't think he fought nobody as explosive as Yard, and his punches hard as Yard, as strong as Yard, and I think it'd be a good test for him. But I do say he got underrated defense. He got a jab that he don't use. And he's just one of those guys that's bigger than everybody else. He squares up. He makes a lot of mistakes. He can be clipped. He can be hit. I've seen times where he's got good defense and he doesn't care, but a lot of times he likes to walk guys down, take chances, square up, throw punches from the hip, And if Anthony Yarde is sharp and on point, there'll be opportunities for him to score on David Benavidez. But for Benavidez, the first thing I would have him doing is keeping his hands up and using his jab. I think coming behind that jab and punching combination off that jab will be a lot better. And I think, his footwork is his footwork. He gonna jump off his feet, he gonna square up and do things, and he can get away with those things because he's not fighting guys that can match his size. He's not fighting guys that can take advantage of what he's doing. It's like in today's generation, a lot of the fighters, when you throw punches, they ball up. But what really good fighters do, when you throw punches, they punch with you. They sit in there and punch with you, and I think that's something that Yarde is going to do. But I think for the most part, he's going to come out there and he's going to try to overwhelm Yarde, and he's going to try to throw punches with Yarde. And I think touch Yarde to the body, and he's going to just try to walk Yarde down and just try to out-condition Yarde. And I think he think if I set a frantic pace, I could stop Yarde about 8 or 9. And I think if he come behind the jab, he kind of use some defense and he gonna need to keep his hands up this fight. And if he able to get to Yarde's body, I think he will, be able to get the stoppage. If he able to get to the body and he able to, walk Yarde down and really be defensive responsible and keep his hands up. If he don't keep his hands up and he jumping in, he's squaring up, he not using his jab, he jumping in with hooks and uppercuts and stuff of that nature. I don't know if he's noticed he don't punch as hard. And maybe this might be the fight where he grow into the weight class and he started to, get acclimated. But usually his superpower is just his conditioning and overwhelming guys with punches, right? But I think the jab, good body work for him. If he able to get on the inside, keeping his hands up, not squaring up, and just really getting on the inside and breaking Yarde down and pushing him to the ropes. So for Yarde, catching with that check hook, he's going to jump in, and that check hook is if he able to catch him with that check hook and put that right hand behind him, he'll put Benavidez down. That's as simple as that. So when David come in reckless, Yarde gonna hit with that check hook. But if Yarde can catch him with the right hand coming in, Yarde and Tunji Ajayi got to work on punching with David Benavidez. That's what this camp should be about. Don't worry about loading up on your shot. Catch him with that check hook. Throw that right hand when he jump in. Throw that 1-2 when he jump in. Go, and I would have a sustained attack to David Benavidez's body. His body is wide open. I would go to the body. I would have him go to the body. But I think the first is Lyndon Arthur did a great job boxing, utilizing the ring. This is a guy that's going to come forward like Beterbiev, come forward kind of like Kovalev, used a little bit more distance, kind of box more like Lyndon Arthur. But I think if I'm Anthony Yarde, I like the matchup with David Benavidez coming at me. No Diddy. I think I'm going to attack his body. But also he's going to come in reckless. He'll come in, throwing punches, no defensive responsibility, being reckless. And I'm waiting on him with that check hook, and I'm trying to put that check hook right hand behind it. I'm trying to touch him to the body with the right hand. And I think it's going to be a really good fight. So, ultimately, I think it's really going to be, whoever, establishes they punches. And for Benavidez, he like to jump in with uppercuts and hooks. I think Yarde he like to control his opponent with the check hook, on his right hand. So it's going to be a battle of that. And I think, whoever is able to establish the lead shots and control the lead shot, I think that's going to be it. I think Yarde is the better puncher. I think Yarde is the stronger fighter. I think Benavidez is the more conditioned puncher. I think Benavidez throws more combinations. So yeah, I think it's actually a good fight. You can't be mad at it for being at the main event. I'm gonna go with Anthony Yarde. I'm gonna go with Anthony Yarde to get the stoppage. Just my opinion on it. I think he's going to stop, David Benavidez about around 10, I would say. It's just a hunch that I have. I think just the matchup, he finds somebody strong. And I know Yarde ain't the most seasoned fighter, the most skilled fighter, but he do throw a good check left hook. He is strong. He do got good athleticism, speed. He can punch. And Benavidez, when you look at the resume, he really ain't fought no punchers. He fought Porky Medina. Roger Garville dropped him, but other than that, Anthony Durrell can punch a bit, but he was over the heel. But Plant really ain't a puncher. Morrell, he really ain't done nothing to fight nobody. And we seeing that now that he's stepping up to 75. He really ain't that guy. Andrade really ain't that guy at punching. So for the most part, this is really a trials and tribulations to the chin of David Benavidez in this fight if it goes on. And we're going to see if he can really take a shot in this particular fight. Yarde, we know we can take a shot. He fought Kovalev. He fought better BF. He fought some good punchers. So I'm going to go with Yarde in 10. This is my humble opinion. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next to the link tree, you can find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Join the Patreon, everything inside the link tree. I appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Check out the fight prediction playlist for more videos like this. And let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. I like Yarde in 10. Let me know who y'all like in the comment section. Peace.